Hey guys, welcome back to our third episode and our third week of our podcast,
After the Bell.
Wait, okay, third week, guys. How are we all feeling?
Nice. Great.
Today, we're just gonna eat. Kidding. We do have some snacks, so you guys should eat along with us. But anyways, today we have a list of questions or a list of prompts that we want to go through, just talking about international teachers and some student life. But Yuna's gonna MC it, so yeah, it'll be exciting. So stay along.
Okay, so we all know that we are international students.
Yeah.
So the first question we have is, how are teachers different in your home country versus here?
Excuse me. So yes, so I came from an American private school in California, and I want to say the teacher and student relationship was way different than actually our school here. And I think it's just because all schools, all countries, all counties, all school boards have slightly different rules for that relationship. I know some schools are very strict on you cannot have a more personal relationship with teacher, but I think when teachers initiate that, you have a better connection with that teacher no matter what. So I think definitely in the school we're studying now, I'm way more comfortable with the teachers. And one thing that really shocked me that we were able to do is we do a lot of youth group or Bible studies at our school on Fridays, and we actually sometimes go to a staff's house to do it, a teacher's house, and that was unheard of in California, of doing kind of that. But I know I did have some teachers that I was really connected to at my previous school, and I still actually keep in contact with them, and they're still really cool and really nice to us. But I think there's a consistent relationship that the teachers try to make sure they have with the students at our now school, just because I think it's very important. Now I'm realizing I think it's really important to have that bond, because you're able to kind of be open to them about your academic life and also just your personal life, so your teachers can also figure out ways to teach you. Anyways, that's mine.
Esther?
Okay.
Hong Kong?
So I studied in Hong Kong for like 13 years. Yeah, 13 years or 12 years now.
That's so long.
Yeah, it is really long. But then I studied in traditional Hong Kong school, which is very, very different with international school in Korea. So first thing, teachers relationship. I've never thought of talking to a teacher after class, or setting up meetings with teacher after school.
Sure.
or Bible studies, or I never thought of connecting my personal life to the teachers. For example, right now, let's say if I'm upset or I'm not happy about something, I would go to find any teachers in our school. They're willing to talk to you. But then in my old school, there's specific counselor.
Oh yeah.
Counselor. You have to go to the counselor instead of teachers that you like or you love. It's very different. They're really strict because they have to follow school rules. You can't have pretty earrings. You can't have colorful shoes, and then your school uniform has to be covering your knees and everything. Those are just, I don't think the teachers want to do that, but I think it's just more the
regulations.
school rules.
Yeah.
And our school is a pretty small school, so we get to all the teachers know us. They know how we.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And they don't try to how do I say this? They don't judge you because you miss one assignment. They would be like, oh, what is wrong? What happened? Or do you need extensions? Or something like that. But my old school teachers, they wouldn't care too much about that. And also they wouldn't, in my school, let's say, they are not that willing to talk to you after school, I would say. Because they just want to leave.
Yeah.
They just just want to leave the school. And because it's a big school and I get it. But yeah, I would say the school now, I like it more. It's more community.
Wait, before continues, I want to add on. I think when you're able to have a relationship with your teacher, they're able to give you a little bit more mercy just because they know what's going on in your life, how to treat you and stuff. And I think if you're allowed to have that type of personal outside of school, or like, okay, not outside of school, there are some rules, but I'm just saying a little bit more deeper relationship with your teachers, I really recommend it, because also later on, those are the teachers who are going to write recommendation letters.
Yes.
And we're going to go on to that later, but anyways, yes, you and I, go.
Yeah. Also, before I do say that, I would say that with smaller schools, it's definitely easier to get like really close to teachers. But I think that there is definitely a balance that needs to be like upheld, because like, you know, you can't be too friendly with teachers.
Right.
There's still like a limit to like your professional relationship. But yeah, I would say that teachers are you're good. Teachers are humans too, you know? Like I feel like a lot of times, maybe in bigger schools, teachers are just seen as like, that's my teacher. But especially in our school, because it's so small, my experience has been, I see them like as just people, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's not weird to like talk to them about like outside school things. Like sometimes like if like there's a huge like breaking news somewhere, like I'll talk to my English teacher, be like, oh my gosh, this happened, did you see that?
Yeah.
Like I literally will just talk to her kind of like I'm catching up with like a friend. And I think that's a really like precious relationship. And that's one of the reasons why I really love our school.
Aww.
Because I feel like that kind of special relationship between teacher and student, where like you really feel like they see you as like and you see them, it's like I feel like that's usually like kind of rare. But in our school, I don't know if it's like just our school or international schools, but like I feel like that's like normal. Like every teacher, I kind of have that like closeness to them, where like I like really like respect them as a teacher, and yet I also see them as a person.
Yeah, and I also think, adding on, with international schools, you get teachers from like all over the world.
Yeah.
And I think they come with different backgrounds, a bit different like ways of teaching and stuff, and they get different experiences. So you want to learn from that. You want to learn from those experiences and stuff. Like we have one teacher and is filled with so much knowledge and so much wisdom, and just listening to them. But listening to them speak, you grow closer together, but at the same time you're able to learn things that maybe you won't be able to just learn in the classroom.
Like teachers are like mentors.
Yeah. And also like, maybe I don't know if this is right or not, but I also see my teachers as like sort of second parents. Like there's obviously like boundaries and distance and stuff, but at the same time, like you're with them for 6 hours like a day, and then like you know, and so I'll go to them and be like, oh my gosh, like I'm so tired, and they'll be just like, I got you, girl, I got you. And so like I think being surrounded with like a good relationship with your teachers, because you're with them so long, like it's just like
for years. Some people are like in high school for years. Like it's better to like get to know your teachers, you know, get close to them. It's gonna be better long term.
Yeah, especially if you have the same like high school teachers or middle school teachers or whatever for those years you are in that school. Like it's just really important.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Let's go.
Okay. Next question is: do you think that teachers should be more strict or more chill?
I'll go ahead and answer. I think in some situations, like class behavior or like just I think there are certain things where maybe teachers can be a little bit more strict but also a little bit more chill, and I think that's the balance of like being a teacher. At the same time, these teachers are getting a group of kids that are a little bit different each year, so I think it's very hard to also just like shift, like you're gonna kind of start new every year. But definitely for me, I think universal, maybe teachers can be like a little less strict on like homework, just because in high school, for at least, okay, us it's a little different because we're doing block scheduling, but I think when we had 6 classes a day, 7 classes a day, 7 okay, when we had 6 to 7 classes a day, if teachers are giving homework in each one, I think it's a little bit hard for them to set such high expectations when they're also expecting us to sleep at a regular time, but with so much homework. On top of homework and studying is 2 completely different things. But I know, like, for our teachers, they're really good at communicating with each other, but that's also because our school is so small. I know there are schools out there that have so many teachers that like all of them cannot just sit in a room and like communicate. I know that's how our school works, but yeah, maybe just like the universal thought of like homework being less of a pressured thing.
Honestly, I think like what I said about like, you know, the student-teacher relationship, I think same as teachers, there should always be a balance. I think that I've definitely had teachers that were like really chill, like almost like too chill. Like
Oh.
yeah, like I once had a teacher where like she was like the sweetest person ever, but then sometimes like if people were like making like a ruckus in class, like she would not say anything, and I'm like, girl, like you know. So then sometimes I feel like in certain aspects, teachers do need to maintain some kind of their role as like disciplining their class in a certain sense, especially if people are misbehaving. But I think that aside from behavior, when it comes to like homework or assessments or like you know students having their own like problems in their lives that like affect schoolwork, I think that maybe they should be more lenient with, definitely. And I think that what sometimes you do get really good teachers where they do have that good balance of they're like strict in the sense that they keep like a good like class space and order, but at the same time they're really understanding, and I think that that's probably ideal.
I agree. Definitely, the balance is really important, as both of them had mentioned. I also think that teachers are pretty chill here, and in discipline-wise, I think definitely, like teachers have to continue to consider how like some students are like they have to lock in to study, and like if the teacher's too chill then and everyone's playing around, then that is just a playground, it's not a classroom. So definitely those disciplines they should like keep in mind. But homework wise, I think it's pretty fine right now. Pretty fine. I think homework wise they should have some expectation, definitely, because that's just what helps us to learn, and it reflects what we learned in class. So if we're just gonna like scribble and do nothing, and the teacher doesn't care, then that's the problem. Like we can't really learn anything in the end of the year, and we're gonna struggle in the exams. So I think definitely like don't be like too strict, but just keep a balance.
I think that's probably the best. Keep that balance.
Like also, okay, for our school, I don't know if I can go into this, but we're doing block scheduling like I had mentioned, and that is shorter classes but longer period of time in that class. And I mean, I can't even imagine how some teachers entertain students. Okay, I think what I mean that is meaning like, how do I keep a class going without having all of my students fall asleep? Usually, I think that regular class period time in schools are like 55 minutes, 50 minutes.
Like an hour.
Ours is 85 minutes. And so I'm like, I kind of think like when they're planning their things, oh my gosh, they're thinking of so many factors of like, I still want my students to learn the content, but to also like have fun in it. And I think all of our teachers hit those points. And I think there's not really a class where it's like low-key repetitive. I mean, like a little class is a little different, but yeah.
Do you guys think that teachers play favorites?
Yes.
Definitely. Definitely. Okay, I want to talk about this. Definitely there's bias in teacher because teachers are human too. And we have favorites in teachers too. So it's just a nature. I can't like do anything. But definitely I would say don't hate a teacher because of the teacher being biased to somebody else. Because if you hate the teacher, you're gonna hate the class. If you hate the class, you're gonna hate the lessons. If you hate the lessons, you're gonna hate school. And in the end, you're not gonna,
it's just a snowball.
You're not going to learn anything, and you're just hating the class more. And your assessment comes out, and you're like, oh my gosh, why did I get this grade? Like, you're just gonna hate everything more. And what you say sometimes in class, it affects you as a as a person. And obviously, if there's a bias that you think is like unfair or like unequal, I think you should just like, I wouldn't say like, oh, just deal with it, but then just try to like prove it with how you study, like prove it with your skills instead of like trying to argue.
Well, what I've seen in like the past 2 schools I've been in, I think there's not like okay, there might be like favorite person. It's like favorite gender. Like does the teacher like girls more, or do the teachers like the boys more?
I see.
Because at my school, or now our school right now, like overall the school has less girls. So I think the teachers automatically just favor the girls a little bit more just because there's like less of us. Because I know like in some of my classes, like either I'm the only girl or there's like 2 girls in it. So
Right.
Liam.
But I think that when we say favor, like, I mean, there are definitely teachers that kind of let their bias affect their grading, which I don't think is ideal. I think as a job as a teacher, one of the roles is to like maintain like an unbiased opinion, especially when it comes to grades, because grades like really affect a student's life. But I think that the thing is, every time I ask a teacher, they always say no. I know they're lying. I know they're lying. Because like as Esther said, like we have favorite teachers too.
Yeah.
So like I feel like it's unrealistic to expect them to not like have like a student that they really like, you know?
And like if someone asks us who our
Yeah.
favorite teacher is, like a teacher, we're not gonna say.
Yeah, we're
not
not
gonna
gonna
say, oh, I like
them.
this one.
Yeah, but then like
Yeah.
I feel like inside they would probably have like biases in certain sense where they do have favorites. But like I think that in my personal experience, I don't think that I've had really a teacher that let that like affect their grading in like a very substantial way.
Yeah.
But I think that if it does, and if you feel like it does, then maybe it's something that you should adjust.
Yeah.
But also, if you're like failing in a class, you know,
It's not all the.
it's not all the teacher's fault, you know.
It's also about behavior in class.
Yes.
Like if you behave like normally, like you don't have to try to like. Is it teacher's pet?
Like you don't need to be
You
a
don't
teacher's
have to
pet,
be
you
a
know?
teacher's pet, but like
Yeah.
just behave in class, and that's all you can do actually.
You know, I heard that teachers don't actually like teachers' pets.
Okay. I have a whole thing about teachers'
Oh,
pets.
okay, go ahead.
Okay, but if people call you a teacher's pet, but like you're not, you feel like, okay, I think we can go two ways with this. But even if people like make fun of you being a teacher's pet, like you don't need a full 360 or full 180 or like turn your whole self around and like be like a bum. Like I don't think that's like what they're saying. But
This sounds personal.
no, guys.
No, okay,
No.
Go.
But I think one thing I do recognize is that with a lot of teachers now are covering the names of like assessments or things, so when they grade they can't see. Like maybe definitely like in some handwriting maybe teachers can tell. But teachers do cover their names. I heard a lot.
Oh, yeah.
A lot are starting to.
Yeah, our teachers told us that they like put post-its on our names.
Yeah. So like for big tests or exams, so they can't really be biased. But yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, everyone's human, so everyone will have a favorite or not.
Yeah.
But I think everyone in the education system is really trying to prevent that because, you know, grades or whatever, the reflection can impact a student going forward.
Also, but like keeping that in mind that like teachers are humans too, take that to your advantage, you know?
Yes, literally.
Like you can choose to present yourself in a certain way. And like let's say that you think a teacher doesn't like you, but like think about how do you behave in their class? Because if you present yourself in a way that, oh, I'm not interested in your class, like I'm sleeping in your class, like, you know, it's like they're human too. They can't help but like be like, oh, this student is not interested, you know?
Exactly.
But you know, if you show interest, you ask questions, like genuinely are like you know, locked in the class, then your teachers will also see that, and maybe they'll be like, oh, this student is really trying their best, and maybe that will like help you in the future, like if you're going through something or like you need to talk to them about something, you know?
인정.
Yeah.
It'll grow your relationship.
Yes.
Just one more thing before we go on to the next question and then we'll wrap it up and stuff is I think teachers, we need to keep in mind, at least for, I mean, and obviously it doesn't apply to a newer teacher who just got. We have newer teachers, but teachers have been probably doing their job, like, really, like, that's their job. They've been doing it each year. So they know stuff. They pick up on stuff. And you can't really hide anything from them. I realized with experience. But no, I'm not. But I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, they do know the trends or they do know certain things. So you might, they don't know. Or you might say, they're not gonna understand me, but they will because they've been working in this like industry for so long.
Right.
So.
Okay. Last question. What is the weirdest rule that a teacher has given you?
Go, Esther.
She drink and go.
Okay. 8th grade. I think it was 8th grade. It was my first year coming to this school. I dropped my water bottle.
Oh,
I know this story.
I dropped my metal water bottle on the ground, and the teacher screamed.
Wow.
He closed his. He covered his ears. And screamed.
Wow.
And screamed.
Yeah.
I was like
a full-on scream?
he was like yelling. I was like,
Oh, okay.
Is
Yeah,
it me?
yeah.
And then like I didn't like drop it or something. I think I wore my school bag and it just like
It fell out.
Like
Yeah,
on
yeah.
accident, on accident.
Right, right, right.
on accident. And then like he signed like people's grace card because they dropped their
Oh,
water.
great.
bottle.
Okay.
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 So
It's
I'll
like
explain.
behavior.
I'll explain. So like I know a lot of different schools do something for like
discipline.
discipline, and I know like American schools recently, or not recently, but they do demerit points. And so maybe people are a little bit familiar with demerit points. It's like the same thing. So at our school we have something called grace card. It's just like a paper, and you always should keep it
It's
with
just
you.
like a paper.
And then when something happens, like okay, it has to like if it's like big, like you punch someone, like you're not gonna get signed. Like you're gonna get suspended. But like if it's like major things, like for one thing, like talking in Korean because we can't do that.
Or
People do them.
or this behavior
yeah.
in class. Or, like,
Yeah, something kind of minor, but it's still like the teachers will sign. Anyways, keep going.
Yes. So he signed your grace card.
Okay, he didn't sign my grace card because I was new.
Huh?
But he does sign
Yeah,
grace
he
card.
does sign grace
Before
card.
that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was new and like I didn't know what happened.
was that like an established thing? Like if you drop your water bottle, you're out.
Really? You're out. You get out of here.
No, like it was. I was shocked. Like I love that teacher. Like that
Mhm.
teacher is
Yeah.
so nice. Like everything. But then, like, other people drop their water bottle and they cause grace card signs.
That's
and
crazy.
I was like, and it's specifically metal water bottle.
oh, cause
Mm.
wow.
That's-
Oh,
that's like-
maybe.
Who's gonna just chuck their water bottle and be like, oh shit, it dropped on the floor? like it's obviously gonna be on accident, you know.
Okay, that's his thing. Next.
But yeah, I forgot mine. Okay, weirdest rule. Okay, I understand why. Okay, this is like a universal rule, I think, but
yeah.
like one person goes to the bathroom at a time. Okay, I get it. Like I see where they're coming from, and I hope there was no incident that caused it. But at the same time, these people be taking the bathroom for like 30 minutes, and we know they're not in there taking like like they're in there because they
They're
want
just
a break.
sitting there.
Yeah. So it's like and like the teachers know I have like no relation with that like student.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
what am I gonna do? Like go talk. So then like I'm like sitting at my desk like I really need to go to the bathroom. But I can't go until the other person comes back, and the other person like doesn't come back until like the class is over. So like can they just like let me go and then
I see.
I'll literally come back before the person comes. But anyways, that's like my like I understand the story.
Also,
like
why do we need to ask to go to the bathroom?
that's another
That's my body.
I understand because sometimes they're like no wait until after.
Oh, yeah, I'm like,
but then what if you can't hold it in?
what am I supposed to? Like,
What are we supposed to do? Yeah. Anyways.
Okay, weirdest rule. Honestly, I can't think of a weirdest rule, but one that was very like made me crash out of it was okay. So our current school, we have math teacher, right? And we had a math test where we were learning standard deviation.
Oh.
Everyone knows this. So basically,
I don't.
do you not remember? Okay, I'll tell you. So basically, we were doing this test where we had to do standard deviation, and if you don't know, it's a really long process, and also it's kind of
Tedious.
requires like a scientific calculator that you can do like fractions on, so that it makes it easier. But we were not allowed to use a scientific calculator for the test. Do you remember this?
I literally
we were
crashed
not
out
allowed
so
to use.
hard.
Okay, things I get it. Like you can kind of like do way more functions and stuff on a scientific, but he made us use these like tiny, so like convenience store like this tiny
like
calculator.
the plastic
Like
ones that
the-
like you get at
the 50
Dollar
cents,
Tree.
yeah,
Yeah,
literally,
50
like-
cents. Oh my gosh.
The cheapest like little flimsy thing,
Mm-hmm.
and like you could not do fractions on it, and like you could not do parentheses. It was literally like one thing at a time.
It was like nine boxes
Yeah.
in that.
And then
it
it's
was
gone.
so
And then
fun.
and then everyone in the class was like crashing out because like every time you try to do something, like it doesn't let you like go past a certain limit.
yeah.
And then if you mess up, there's no delete.
Yeah,
like
you just have to
start over.
AC. Oh my gosh.
No,
Yes,
like
yes,
I
yes.
think I spent like 30 minutes on one standard deviation question, and like we were all done.
No, it was crazy.
Yeah. At the end, he let us use the calculator to his credit. So thank you, teacher.
No, but it was something also like if you didn't write it out though, if you didn't write it out.
Oh, you didn't get the point?
Yeah, you like didn't get the point.
Yeah, but
And
it's
it
so
was-
long.
It's so long. And like we had other pages on the test too.
No, like this is one question.
No, but I understand like teachers don't want to use calculators, but I feel like when you're getting higher like math
Yeah,
math
when you're
classes,
getting-
you need
yeah,
a
you
calculator.
need that.
Like it's not like you're trying to cheat. Like
Yeah.
you're probably gonna fail
Also,
with the calculator
that
too.
little thing, it's like it's the same as just doing it by hand. It's like literally this small.
Oh my gosh. Anyway.
That's giving me flashbacks.
Of us all crashing out.
I feel like I triggered something right now.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think teachers are all over the world are obviously a little different. They obviously have different backstories, but be patient with your teachers. Try to create good relationships because at the end, they might even help you get into some colleges. So I just think, just be patient with your teachers, be kind, because at the same time they're just human too, and if they make mistakes, let them make mistakes, because, or like, don't let them make mistakes, but like, you feel me.
Yeah, okay. I think the takeaway here is teachers are also human, and honestly, if you try to get to know them, try to talk to them a little bit more, they might surprise you, you know? Like, they might surprise you with like how much they can connect to you.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Anyways, that's it for our last, no, not last.
Third episode.
Third episode, or third. Okay, anyways, like, follow, subscribe.
Comment.
Do all that
on the
stuff.
topic.
Yes.
Yes.
Follow us on Instagram. We'll try to post.
Yeah,
We haven't posted,
yeah.
but we'll
Follow
try.
us on Instagram, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.